Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about types of evolution, that is micro, macro and mega evolution. Now based on the degree of change and speed of evolution, three stages in evolutionary process can be identified. Origin of small evolutionary differences at subspecific level, modifications in larger groups of animals producing species and genera by adaptive radiation, and thirdly is the evolution of new types from their predecessors by large genetic changes, which will often produce families, orders, classes, and even the phyla. First of all, we will discuss about microevolution. What is the microevolution? This is also called sequential evolution, which involves a continuous and gradual change in an interbreeding population, usually giving rise to new subspecies and geographical races. Basic process involves changes in gene frequencies in a population from one generation to the next generation. Microevolution is produced by stabilizing or normalizing the natural selections that operate in a stable environmental conditions and in short time span. Now we can cite some examples in favor of microevolution. Rowe has discovered several lines of descent in sea urchin. Microaster, where he found gradual change in the characters from Microaster corbovis to that of Microaster coryngunum, mainly in the shape of the test, structure of oral opening, and the form of ambulacra. The changes took place in a more or less stable environment. Similarly, Fenton has described gradual replacement of one species by another in brachiopod. Let's discuss about macroevolution. What is macroevolution? This may also be called as adaptive radiation, which includes evolutionary changes above the species level that may result in production of new adaptive types through the genetic divergence. And the changes, they are on account of large gene mutations or macro mutations and result in the establishment of new genera, families, orders. So, macroevolution takes place in individuals that have entered a new environmental zone, which is free of competition. And Darwin called such directional changes as orthogenesis. Now, examples in favor of macroevolution. A very good example of evolution of horse. In this, there was an increase in size of the body and legs and teeth are enlarged. All body changes they were related to life in open grasslands, fast running and feeding on harsh grasses, eventually leading to new adaptive types. Other examples of macroevolution are adaptive radiation in Darwin's finches, divergence of reptiles, and evolution of camel, elephant, etc. Now, thirdly is mega evolution. What is mega evolution? Mega evolution includes formation of new groups, classes, or phyla due to evolution of new types from its predecessors by general adaptation. Mega evolutionary changes are rare and have occurred rarely in the evolutionary history. During mega evolution, organisms of the ancestral stock attempt to enter a new and very different environmental zone where they face strong natural selection, for which they must possess certain pre adaptations to enable them to survive in a new zone. Mega evolution is brought about by large genetic changes that are capable of producing different types and disruptive or divergent natural selection that makes the population occupy different types of environmental zones. Now we can cite example of evolution of amphibians from fishes. You can give example. Amphibians they were pre-adapted to live on land for short periods. All of you know because as fish they already possessed lungs for air breathing and limbs to support body on land. Origin of birds from the reptiles included growth of feathers and sudden change in the forelimb to produce wing which enabled them to invade air and then develop beak, sternal keel and loss of tail as post adaptations. Another example, origin of mammals. It can be traced back from a series of fossil reptiles, Synapsida of Triassic period. During the evolution, a false palate was formed. Teeth became thickened and limbs moved under the body under the body for better locomotion. Emergence of bats, order is Cheropatera, from the primitive insectivores has been a sudden event in the beginning of Cenozoic era. Skeletons of early Eocene bats show fully developed wings, much like our modern day species possesses. No transitional forms are known, suggesting that bats emerged by a mega evolutionary event. So, we can say that mega evolution is always followed by microevolution and macro evolution. That means कि अगर मेगा इवोल्यूशन होता है उसके बाद में माइक्रो इवोल्यूशन और मैक्रो इवोल्यूशन जो है वो उसको फॉलो करेगा. थैंक यू वेरी मच.